Yeah, I do think it keeps recording when I'm doing something else. You know what would be really, really sad? And sadness is one of the two extremes I suffer from due to species alienation because you suffer from HSD and you won't do anything about it. So, what would be really sad already on a sad day today, October 13th, 2022, is if this song playing in the background gave me a copyright claim, which, I mean, it'll pass because I don't monetize my now one of the things I took a screenshot of on my YouTube is your location is Antarctica, so you can't monetize. So that's interesting. So that means I am officially in Antarctica, but I still couldn't monetize because of my values. I'm not a hypocrite that would suddenly contradict myself to reduce my hardships and become one of you. A crasher of this latest and final proto-civilization of your species. So, and also, I wouldn't, all the arguments I've already said, but also a lot of things that were allowed as copyright claims would now be issues, which I don't want to deal with. I just want my channel as it is. Eventually, I will do some editing and adding to it and quality control and organization, but for now it's okay like that. I have other priorities every day that change, and they don't change because I'm confused or I keep changing my mind. They change because others, their true selves come out, and it's sad. So I'm going to read an email that I'm about to send here. I may be able to get some supplies tomorrow. Does my file say to avoid, if possible, gluten and dairy, and to replace these with alternatives instead? Because I've already said, I mean, why don't you make a file so you don't ask me to always connect to the internet and remind you of things, or borrow a phone to tell you I'm coming for a meal when you're always, every time I went, had way too many? Do you have any portable toilets or even an old bucket for peeing in? I don't know why I wanted to pee yesterday, and the only other person that showed up here was placed right beside me where I open my door and pee. I don't get it, but anyways. It's like super empty here. There's like the other place shows up. It's got to be my closest neighbor. It's weird. Hard to get my ecocentric medicine. What disinfectant wipes and or cleaning products do you have available? Any laundry soap as well? How much was your portion? By the way, I'm paying more fees for laundry now to avoid a place that is unhealthy, where people get paid to deal with unhealthy people, but they also make it unhealthy there, where I could get laundry for free. So I'm trying to avoid a lot of sadness based on your choices and behaviors that are more and more inhuman. So how much was your portion for paying for my glasses? Because it's been more than a week and I still haven't gotten back an email back from the guy. I'm saying I think something's wrong with my new glasses. I gave him an example. I said, I want an appointment. I don't want the expense that you're there or there at this clinic or that clinic on that day. I am not certain that I will come tomorrow, but in case I do, please prepare a box for me. If I cannot and that's what she wants. So that's what she tells me to do. If I cannot justify the expense to come tomorrow, then I will come on Monday. Okay, so that's an example of me, making a promise that's in my mind that I have to keep. And if I don't keep it, which is rare, I have to make it up to that person in some way. Because reputation is important. My last visit there, food bank, left me very sad and other feelings. So I no longer wanted to attend the Thanksgiving dinner at the park or to stay there at the food bank for very long when I go now. I didn't say now, but I'll write now. Thanks, Martin. I'm about to send this. And what I wanted to say with this particular vlog, let me just get to this window again, make sure it's recording, and maybe even press pause. Oh, I don't know if it works here, pause. What I wanted to say is that, like sometimes I think of what if scenarios to explain to you about what it's like for me to be among you. And again, I don't suffer from grandiosity like many people would. I suffer from living a life uncommon, which is very different. And I can explain why that makes me proud of myself, and that's pretty important to me compared to you feeling better that I conform to you. That's not human. That's not being human. That's not being a self-actualized, matured individual, right? That's what you want, but that's not what common sense or psychology tells me is healthy. So what if scenarios about Jesus? What if Jesus comes back and he gets a lot of feedback? Because I've said before, hey, I'm walking the talk. What would Jesus do? Watch me. Tell Christians, don't watch you. But what if he comes back and he's like arguing with his dad again? His dad, come on, you can try to save them again. But I failed last time, Dad. It was horrible. You go. And he comes back again, and he's pissed off at his dad, right? And some of the comments he gets is a lot of comments I get is like when people talk about him, that includes Christians as much as anybody else, is oh, did he tell you what to do again? Man, he thinks he's better than us and he's got all the answers that are simple to apply, but you got to be human. And so yeah, this is what I get a lot, people, and it's really hard to respect you. And and I document this, and it's the dishonesty is so strong, and a lot of it is linked again to the monetary paradigm. And yeah, I don't think Jesus would want to come back. He'd get really pissed off interacting with you that he'd have to pray for a miracle to control himself, not to zap you off this planet and piss off his dad that thinks you can be saved. But maybe his dad has obsessions and can't really fix things, or is not that bright and is just playing games, because that's what powerful people do with less powerful people, including maybe Jesus, right? Or whatever. Maybe you guys think, I don't know, you guys would probably argue for another 2 millennia about whether they have equal power, let's say omnipotence or omnipresence or omniscient. Anyways, so when I suffer from species alienation, again, it's sadness. So I will cry later today with Spider-Man 2, which I'm watching on Netflix again, and it's emotional for me. This movie, these Spider-Man movies, they're well done, these latest ones, and but it doesn't take much, right? I get triggered by your behaviors with each other. And again, when I cry, people, I'm not crying for me. I'm crying for you, who you choose to be, and how you failed as a species. And why will I pick up that criminal record check tomorrow and will it be fine? It's because the other side of the spectrum of sadness is anger. And but I don't turn that anger against me, like with drugs or mental illness or risky behaviors. And I don't turn it against you, so I'll keep passing my criminal record checks. But the energy spent to be in between this sadness, which must be released, and you guys might think I suffer from depression, but I just suffer from ongoing sadness about your choices, who you are as a species that I share DNA with. And I can manage my anger, and I've had years and years of proving this, although I got better at it. Like, there were times in the past when I was younger and I wasn't that great at it, but again, not at a point to get in trouble with the law or anything like that. So this is who I am. This is my ongoing journey among you, and you might be somebody who evaluates me with just a video. And by the way, I'm simple, but I'm different. But I'm also human, and humans are complex. But I'm simple because I'm transparent and consistent and congruent. But if somebody evaluates me for this video and creates an entire conclusion about who I am, even though there's some things right in it that I might agree with, or that might be measurably confirmed, is it still be such an incomplete version of describing who I am, my choices, and how I live as a creature among you? Is it still going to show your intellectual laziness? It's still going to show that you're not as smart as you think you are, and that you make assumptions, you jump to conclusions, and that could be the best of you that can psychologically profile somebody, and not knowing that you're falling into traps that I'm telling you, hey, please, if you want to know me, don't fall into traps of assuming that a tiny bit of the data of my videos is enough for you to write the entire book about me that would be accurate. It's not like that. So good luck with that, Mr. and Mrs. Homo Communia. My sadness continues. The cold is growing here. Not selling my motorhome, not getting support, not finding community, definitely not the elusive Homo sapien, and yet walking the talk of what a creature with sentience and sapience would act like.